In this video, I'm going to show you how to analyze crypto prices using AI agent. So if you come into this workflow and you execute this, it's going to go to CoinMarketCap via API and pull the crypto prices. Then it's also going to go to CryptoPanic.com, which is a platform for crypto news. Get that news information about that particular crypto. In this case, we're going to be analyzing BTC and ETH. It's going to analyze both information using this crypto AI agent, and it's going to send us the output on Telegram. So if you come to Telegram here, you can see it just told us this is the current price, sentiment classification. It decided this is bullish. It's going to give you a recommendation, and this recommendation is telling us to buy it. Then you can see for this one, current price for ETH is $4,463.65, and the trading suggestion for this is watch, right? So this is already a recommendation for you based on the AI agent analysis. So let's jump right into this workflow and see how this comes together. The first node you have here is your schedule trigger node. So if you open up this schedule trigger node, what it's basically doing is that it's looking at it on a daily basis. It's going to trigger once, and the trigger time is at midnight, but we can change this to 7 a.m. and tell it to trigger every 7 a.m. in the morning, right? So this trigger node basically just kicks off the entire workflow. So the next one here is the crypto data API connection, right? And you can see here we are connecting to API.CoinMarketCap.com. Now, CoinMarketCap is basically a platform for comprehensive cryptocurrency and decentralized exchange data. So if you're looking for price, you're looking for price movement, market cap, and all that, you basically use CoinMarketCap to get that information. In this particular case, we are going to be going to the API documentation. If you don't already have an account, you can go ahead and create an account. Let me log into my account here. Okay, my account, I'm already logged into my account now. You can get more information about their plans. If you come to API documentation here, open this up, you're going to see pricing, click on pricing. You can see the basic one is free. It gives you a free API key, and you have opportunity to connect to 11 data points. So that is basically what we are doing here. So let's go back to the documentation. You look at the documentation, you're going to see the quick start guide. It's going to tell you, oh, this is where you can sign up. It's going to say, okay, grab your API key. If you come back to my account, and come out, you can see my API key. I don't want to hover over it because it's going to display the API key, and before I can generate the API key, I have to go send them an email. So if you come to the documentation, if you come under cryptocurrency, which is what we want to get, and we are getting the listing, the latest one. So if I click on this, you can see the things I have access to under this endpoint. So this endpoint is basically, if you come to this part, you can see it's doing a get method, v1 cryptocurrency listing / latest. So this is basically the endpoint we are going to be calling. And if you look at this place, it gives you the entire server URL. So this is what I basically copied, came to my HTTP node. This is a basic HTTP node in n8n, and that is what I pasted here. Of course, the method is get. Now, but something is very important. When you are adding your credential, you can, if you come here, first of all, you're going to see the different plans that can call this endpoint. So whether you're using basic or you're using hobbyist or whichever plan you are, you can actually call this endpoint. So you can see the different query parameters that are obtainable here. Then also here is going to tell you about authentication. So if you come to the authentication page here, you can see that it tells you you can supply your API key in REST API calls in one of two ways. The preferred method is to use a custom header named XCMC Pro API key, which means that whenever you come here, first of all, under authentication, you select your generic credential type, generic auth type, you select header, then here you create new credential. Now, in naming down your new credential, you have to ensure that you give it this name. So this is what this name is going to be. You copy it, you paste it here. That is the name for your authentication key. Then your API key, you then paste your API key. Again, I don't want to hover above my API key because it's going to show those values. And so you can easily, once you're on this page, you get your API key. That is what you are going to dump here. And once you dump it here, you can save it. Once you save it, you have your authentication. You can make those requests. Now, the next thing that is very important is the query parameters that you're going to be sending with that authentication. Now, in this particular place, I'm telling it to limit it to only 2 currencies. Let's go back to the page. So we are back to the page here. If you go back to under cryptocurrency, which is what we are interested in, cryptocurrency, you come to listing latest. It's going to give you the different parameters. Now, you can see starts here means starts from the first one. Usually that is BTC. Right, so here I have something on start, name start. I say start from 1. Now come back here I told it to limit it to, the default is 100. So anytime you run the query, it's going to pull 100 cryptocurrencies into n8n. But I want it to limit it to 2, right? So that's why I selected limit here as 2. Another thing is I want it to sort it by market cap. So if you come back to this place, if you look at the sort value, sort, the default is market cap. So I want it to give me the ones that have the largest volume first. So there are a lot of things you can sort by: the name, the symbol, the price. So, but in this particular case, I'm sorting with market cap. So these are the different query parameters I've added to my HTTP request, so that when this query goes to CoinMarketCap.com, is going to use this to filter what is going to pull back for me in n8n. So if I trigger this workflow, open this up, you can see it pulled Bitcoin. And if you scroll down, you also see that it pulled Ethereum. Now, one of the things it did is that it bundled everything into one data. So that's why the second node is very important. What the second node does is that it splits it into 2 different values. And you can see I'm using data to split. If I come back to schema, I just drag this data. When you have here, I'm just dragging this data to this point, right? So it's splitting the values it has in that data. So then after splitting, if I come here, what I'm doing with a set node is basically I'm just extracting fields. So if I come to table, you're going to see the 2 things that it has given us, ETH and basically Bitcoin. So if I open this schema here, I want to be able to get the symbol. So what I'm just basically doing is drag and drop. I scroll down to where I have my quotes, right? First of all, you have the symbol, the name, which is Bitcoin, but I'm not taking the name. I'm just taking the symbol, which is Bitcoin. You can also include a field that includes name, is okay. Now the quote here, the price is in USD, right? So the price here, I just drag and drop this one here. The same thing with the volume 24 hours. I'm just simple drag and drop and put it there. Then volume change by 24 hours in percentage, right? So yeah, in percentage change, I drag and drop there. Then these are depending on the analysis you want to do, but I don't need all this for this demo. I'm just basically extracting the symbol, the price, the volume change, the percent change in 1 hour, the percentage for 24 hours. And I'm doing it for BTC and also for ETH. Now I have extracted those 2 things. The next thing I'm going to do now is feed it into this crypto AI agent. So if I open up this crypto AI agent, what's basically, you can see what it has extracted from with a set node, and I'm going to give it, this is my input details. This is your price, this is the volume 24 hours, and this is the volume change in percentage over 24-hour period. That is my prompt user message, right? Now, under my system message, I added a system message, as you can see here. Under my system message, I just basically said, you are a crypto assistant, combine market data. The market data, I'm getting it from CoinMarketCap.com, and new sentiment to creating a trading alert. The new sentiment, I'm basically getting that from another CryptoPanic. I'm getting it from another platform, which is CryptoPanic. So I'm going to combine that 2 data. Then I will say, use the tool to grab news headline. So CryptoPanic is the tool that we're going to be using to grab the news headline. Then it has 4 tags. Output the current price. Classify the overall sentiment. Is it bullish? Is it bearish? Or is it neutral? Summarize in 2 sentences. Suggest if user should watch, buy, or sell. This is the price, right? So for each of them, it has done the analysis. This is for Bitcoin and this is for ETH. So basically what this AI agent does is that the first thing it does is that it calls the crypto model, right? The OpenAI, we are using OpenAI LLM here. And of course, we've already connected our credentials. We are using GPT 4.1 mini. This OpenAI is a brain. So that's what you use to understand what is going on. Then you also have the crypto news. So we are basically making a HTTP call to CryptoPanic.com. The same thing that you have here. This is the platform. It just generates news. It aggregates news from different platforms about cryptocurrency. Now, if you want to learn about the API, if you come under the API, you can see the endpoint. This is the endpoint we are calling, right? And this is the path. We are doing a get to posts. So remember, you have to add your authentication token. This is one of the parameters that is required. It's used for authentication. Every other thing is optional. So if you come back to this place, you can see the auth token here. I edited this API token, so you don't need to try to use it. Now, I'm also adding a parameter which is say currencies. I'm only interested in BTC and ETH. So this will allow you to search for news that is related to BTC and ETH. Now, what is basically happening here is after that data has been grabbed, this crypto AI agent will use OpenAI to understand the data that it just grabbed, goes to grab the latest news around BTC and ETH. Now it brings all that information together, and this OpenAI summarizes it and determines whether you should buy or whether you should sell or whether you should just watch. Now, after the analysis, it's going to send that message to you on Telegram. So that's the final output of the message we get on Telegram. So you can see the two messages that it has gotten. So if we go back, let us run this query all over again. And let's execute this workflow. So you can see once this workflow is executed, it goes to CoinMarketCap, grabs the prices, grabs the details around BTC and ETH, splits the data out, separates, extracts certain fields from it, sends it to this crypto agent. This crypto agent uses OpenAI to understand what we just talked about, goes to grab the latest news, brings it back to this OpenAI. It combines the market data and the latest news and uses it to analyze and determine whether you should buy, sell, or watch. So that information is then finally sent to you on Telegram. So if I go back to Telegram, you can see here it has sent it to me again. It just said the current price is 121k. This is bullish. It's still telling us to buy. For ETH, it's saying the current price is 4,466, and it's saying neutral to slightly bullish. It's saying you should watch for short-term volatility. There are a lot of use cases we can build around this AI agent and analyzing the crypto market. So this is it. If you want this workflow, let me know. I'm going to send it out over to you. Thank you very much for watching this video. Kindly like, comment, share so that YouTube can send this to others that are going to benefit from it. Also subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much for watching this video, and see you in the next one.